Okay, so then your next album, Earthquake.
Yeah.
It comes out, I guess it debuts at number 18 with like 41,000 sold, but then it dropped to number 41 on the charts.
Right.
And it ends up being your least successful album.
Which was crazy to me because it was my favorite album I ever did as a child. Because I had Do You Remember on there. I had When It Comes to You, To All the Girls. I had some really great records on this. And the guy that sings No, It Don't Break Even Now, he wrote Do You Remember and produced it. And it was one of the most incredible songs I did at that time. And that's where I wanted to go. I wanted to be respected as a singer and not just like these songs that were rap songs that were written that people are still like, it's cool. Like you guys can like party and like reminisce and stuff like that. But I'm not a nostalgia store, man. Like you're not gonna, that's not who I am. And that's not gonna be my legacy. My legacy now is the fact that I did great when I was younger, went through some family turmoil, everything shattered, but now I waited and I learned how to produce, and I went to school for it. I got tutored, Full Sail, all of this stuff. Mentored under certain people like Deadmau5, and Mark Batson and Scott Storch, and some really great guys. I studied Bass Nectar, so I'm really into making music. Is my passion, like it really is. So that's why the Love album, when I produced it, man, I'm proud of that, man. I got 500,000 followers, okay, on Instagram, but I have almost 1 billion streams now on my last album.
Yeah, I mean, sooner or later, is that like 90 million views on Spotify alone? That's your biggest song on Spotify, and that's off your self-produced album. But I want to talk about real quick on Earthquake.
Yeah.
You're 15 at the time.
15, yeah. 15 going on.
That album ends up being
actually,
your last.
I was 14.
14, okay.
Yeah, almost about.
That was your last album on Jive, and then it seems like right afterwards, your parents filed a lawsuit against.
Well, we did a greatest hits, one more album.
Yeah. You did the greatest hits
with Jive after the fourth one, so the fifth one was the greatest hits, and then
you sued Lou Pearlman.
Then we sued Lou Pearlman. Yes.
Now I looked into Lou Pearlman's story, and outside of the group, is it US5 or US5?
US5.
US5. That's the only group that worked with him that didn't sue him. Every other group sued him and won for fraud and misinterpretation. Lou was apparently signed as the 6th member of the Backstreet Boys.
Yep,
so he would get a cut of everything the Backstreet Boys.
Guess what? I don't blame him.
Okay.
Why not? He put all his money and time, invested everything into that group, and gave them their careers that they still have today.
Okay.
I'm not going to be the one that's going to be like, oh yeah, Lou Pearlman's. No, I'm going to tell you I like to pet sharks backwards.
Okay, well, he was also busted for a $300 million Ponzi scheme.
290 million. Yeah, he embezzled.
Yeah.
That a lot of money to rebuild Church Street. I was 17 years old. I did my last single with him when I was 17 years old. My dad took me back after my parents divorced, and my dad took me back to Lou Pearlman and signed a shady deal with him right before I turned 18. I released a song called Saturday Night. It immediately went gold. It was the first song I ever produced, and that I did pretty much by myself, and with another producer named Aaron Aceta. And I'm a very instinctual person, so I already picked up what was getting put down. So about 5 months before he was incarcerated, and right before I turned 18, I told everyone I quit.
Well, Lou was also accused by Rich Cronin of the group LFO of attempting to molest him as a boy, and also claimed that he was molesting other kids.
All right, well, how am I supposed to speak on that, man? Sometimes I feel like people be making these crazy accusations just to get some sort of attention. And you know what? That's nothing against anybody who has suffered sexual abuse, because guess what? I am one of those people. All right? So with that being said, I don't know what to believe.
But you never had anything happen bad with?
Lou never did anything weird.
Okay.
I've known Lou since I was a little child, man. Nothing. He was a big Papa Bear. He's like a Santa Claus, man. Like, why weren't the guys saying something back then? Tell me, riddle me that.
I don't know. You hear these stories a lot, though. With
I
these
know,
boy
but riddle
bands.
me that. Why you gonna wait till he's dead and then start talking about it?
Yeah, he eventually had a cardiac arrest and died in prison.
I know.
You know. Well, you guys sued him.
Yeah, well, my mom sued him, and we sued him for the masters, and I own the masters now to my first album.
Okay, and you won that lawsuit, I assume.
Yes, I did, and
Okay.
I own the masters, and
Right.
I'm remixing it, remastering, and re-releasing it. I got it pulled off of everything.
I guess he countersued you, but they proved that you were underage when you signed the contract, so the contract was like null and void.
Bye, Felicia. I warn everybody, you don't want to sue me. I will drain your accounts in court. I will drain you.